Welcome to the Egg Whisperer Show, a podcast exclusively designed to create more reproductive health awareness and discuss your fertility preservation options. Here is your host, the Harvard-educated fertility specialist, Dr. Amy.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining me on tonight's Egg Whisperer Show. It is so great to be here. And tonight's show is titled 10 Things I Want Fertility Patients to Stop Doing. My patients often tell me, Dr. Amy, do you ever get a day off? And I say to them, no, look, if your ovaries are working, so am I. So let's talk about fertility and the 10 things I tell my patients to stop doing every single day. And number one is stop going to baby showers. I hear this all the time. Patients say to me, you know, Dr. Amy, after my visit today, I'm going to a baby shower. I really don't want to go. Okay. Have you ever heard of a man forcing himself to go to something that he doesn't want to do? No. Why do we do this to ourselves? So please, the next baby shower I want you to go to, please let it be your own. I'm sure you've been to plenty of baby showers, helping and supporting all your friends, but just say, no, I'm busy. And that's okay. It's okay to say no to things and not force yourself into doing things that you don't want to. Just say no. Really goes for this topic as well. So the second thing that I tell patients to please stop doing is drink heavily, everything in moderation. And certainly there are some patients that I say, look, I want you to stop drinking altogether. But for the most part, drinking in moderation is okay. It doesn't hurt the sperm if you're drinking in moderation. It doesn't hurt the eggs if you're drinking in moderation. So if you're taking your shot and you want a shot, see, there was a pun intended there. It's okay. But what I tell patients is, look, if you're super, super tired and you have even 4 ounces of wine, it might make you too sleepy and you might forget your injection. And I've had patients tell me that before. So if you're feeling super sleepy, perhaps skip your glass of wine and just take the fertility shot. So the next thing I tell patients to stop doing is exercising right before the egg retrieval and right after. All my patients are super women. You're all warriors. I get that, but you have nothing to prove to me. I know how incredible you are. I know how strong you are. And it's okay to take a break from exercising before your egg retrieval and after, because I want your recovery to be as smooth as possible. So if you're pushing yourself too hard, believe me, your physical recovery is not going to go as smoothly as it could be. You're going to be more dehydrated. You might jostle your ovaries a little bit too much. Your ovaries are swollen after an egg retrieval. Give them time to come all the way down. And by the time your period starts, you should be all clear for exercising. And at the same time, if your body's feeling really good, and let's say your egg retrieval yielded 1 to 3 eggs, talk to your doctor and say, hey, am I clear for exercise? And if you're my patient, I will say yes. So listen to your body. Patients email me questions like this. Dr. Amy, I'm still feeling really bloated. Is it okay if I exercise? They just answer the question, right? The answer is no. If you're still feeling really bloated from the procedure, please hold off on exercising. So the next thing I tell patients to stop doing, and I know this sounds really funny, and it's not stop having beetle sex. So the one thing I tell patients to stop doing is stop abstaining, right? I mean, you're hopped up on hormones. You're feeling like a really fertile potato leaking out egg white cervical mucus. Ew, I know. But literally, that's how going through fertility treatment sometimes feels for some people. I'm telling you the truth. No sugarcoating. But at the same time, you might feel a little bit more sexual, and it's okay to have sex if you're my patient. Please note that this YouTube show is for your informational use only and not the instructions from your personal physician. So please always ask your doctor. But in my clinic, I tell my patients to please be intimate if you would like to be. And you can continue to have sex up until the egg retrieval day. And this is why. For men, we want the sperm to be as strong as possible. I don't want little old sperm cells walking out with little canes. We don't want a bunch of dead guys. No, guys. We want really strong swimmers. So you got to prepare for the big day. And literally preparing means ejaculating every 3 to 4 days. So it's weird to get a prescription for ejaculation from somebody who has a medical degree, but literally that's what I do. I know I say things that sound really silly coming out of a doctor's mouth, but the reason is that these things are scientifically valid. And I'm talking in a way to make you feel like it's okay to actually talk about these things and bring them up with your doctor. So when it comes time for your egg retrieval and the doctor says, please abstain for 2 to 4 days, it doesn't mean before that, wait 2 months, right? You're not saving up for anything. If you wait 2 to 4 days, that might not be enough time to get your sperm as healthy as possible so you can give the eggs the best DNA for the embryos that you're going to be making as you're going through the IVF cycle. So the next thing I tell patients to stop doing is stop announcing what you're going through to the world. And the reason is a lot of people have some opinions about things that may not be so helpful, and they may cause a little bit of an emotional trigger for you. Can you tell your close family, friends? Yes. Pick a few people that are really near and dear to you. Share what you're going through with them. But I would highly recommend not doing Facebook posts about every single little thing that you're doing, because it might bring unwanted attention. And if something doesn't go the way that you want, you might have people asking you questions when you're really not ready to answer. So then you have to sort of pull back, and then you're in a more of a sticky situation when you don't necessarily want to be talking to people. And so you might need to be pulling that information back. So if you haven't already put the information out there, it's easier not to have to worry about ever pulling it back. So that's one of the things that I tell patients to please stop doing. So the next thing is stop putting bad sperm, unfriendly lube around the sperm when you're trying to conceive. So if you look at this picture, this is a picture of me cracking an egg with Salu. He's an embryologist and andrologist. And we did a live sperm show on YouTube. Yep, that's exactly what I did. We took sperm and showed it live on camera and exposed the sperm to different lubricants. So be sure to know which ones are friendly and which ones are unfriendly, and stop using the unfriendly ones and be sure to use the friendly ones. That should be some sort of jingle. I'll have to think about that. But be sure to think through what you're using at home and know what you can do to make the sperm as strong as possible as you're trying. So the next thing I tell patients to stop doing is stop stressing about stress. If you're a patient of mine, you know that one of the things that I ask is, what do you think the problem is? And many people share with me, they think that they're stressing too much and that they're stressing about the amount they're stressing. So what I tell people is, look, there is definitely a healthy amount of stress that everyone can and should have. It's that stress that gets you to get up in the morning. It's the stress that got you to pick up the phone and call the fertility clinic. It's the stress that got you here so that we can talk about everything. But at the end of the day, as long as you're here, you're not too stressed, right? You got out that door. So you made that first call. You're able to keep going through treatment. And the stress isn't so bad that it's going to interfere with your chances. And there's so many things that you can do to build your fertility team around you, therapist, exercise, acupuncture, mindfulness, and meditation. So build that team and find a way to decrease stress as much as you can. But at the end of the day, stop stressing about stress. And I've used that traffic analogy on the show before. And if you think about it, when you sit in traffic, stressing about it doesn't get you to your destination any quicker or faster. So it's the same thing when it comes to being a fertility patient. Stressing about things that you can't control won't get you to your desired goal any quicker or faster or easier. So the best thing you can do is phone a friend, call your mom, listen to a song on the radio, or listen to my podcast, and maybe you'll stress a little bit less about the stress that you're having, and will make the time go by a little bit better for you and make it more enjoyable. So the next thing I want you to stop doing, unless you're a Japanese monkey during winter, is cooking your balls. Literally, I guess they're Japanese monkeys that sit in the hot springs in the wintertime because it's so cold. But guys, that's not what you should be doing, because that's not good for sperm. And even just one exposure could affect the sperm for 2 months. So your partners, if you have a female partner, are going through a ton, giving themselves shots, getting ultrasounds. So please be mindful of the things that you're doing, including heat exposure to the testicle. There's a reason why the testicles are outside the body, and that's because a 1 to 2 degree shift in temperature can affect the sperm negatively. So be mindful of what you're doing, and we want the best outcome and the highest fertilization rate no matter what you're doing, whether it's trying at home, doing intrauterine insemination, or doing IVF. So the next thing patients tell me as they're coming into the office actually started at 6 a.m. this morning. I saw my first patient in the office at 7:30, and patients sometimes tell me, oh, I'm so tired. And I'm like, okay, did you drink coffee today? And they said, no, I stopped coffee. I wish I could have a cup of coffee. And I'm like, why did you stop coffee? Stop stopping coffee. I know that doesn't sound like good grammar, but literally, there's no reason absolutely that you should stop stopping coffee. Coffee is good for your mood. It's good for your metabolism. It can help when you're, stopped up, so to speak, because constipation is real when you're going through fertility treatment as the ovaries swell, especially during IVF. They can push down on your bowels and makes, going to the bathroom a little bit more difficult. So the reason why it's sometimes better to hold off on drinking coffee in pregnancy, in my opinion, is that in pregnancy, your heart rate is a lot higher than what you normally experience. And so even the tiniest bit of caffeine from coffee or chocolate can raise your heart rate really, really high. And it can make it also really more difficult to sleep at night. So having a little bit of coffee is actually not unsafe in pregnancy. It is not dangerous or harmful to your fertility. So please have a cup of joe, have a cup of coffee. 150 milligrams or so per day is not unsafe. So you can definitely brew yourself a cup tomorrow morning and know that you have Dr. Amy's stamp of approval on that. But as always, talk to your own personal physician about the recommendations for you. So the last thing I want you to stop doing is stop thinking negatively. I am close to the most positive person you'll ever meet in your life, I think. I have a mantra of PMA, and that's not PMS. It's positive mental attitude. It's something that I kind of trained myself early on, and I don't know if it's a genetic thing or if it's something that I just taught myself. I really have no idea. But I just know that I see fertility in every patient I meet, no matter what your age is, no matter what your history is. I just see your future as the parent that you want to be. Obviously, not everyone can reach those goals in the way that they originally planned, but I find that I want patients to be as positive as I am about their future. It's a very difficult process to go through being a fertility patient. That is the truth. But whatever I can do to support patients, to lift them up and guide them through the process in the best way possible is something that I aim to achieve every single day with each and every interaction that I have. So stop thinking negatively. Please think positively. And if you need help finding that positive mental attitude, please talk to someone about it immediately. Okay, guys. Well, thank you for watching my show. I'm super bossy in my office. I tell people what to stop doing immediately. I'm Bossy Dr. Amy. I wear a shirt at home so people know that I'm the boss at home too. But I hope you enjoyed tonight's show and learned a lot about the 10 things that you should stop doing if you're a fertility patient. And I hope you guys tune in next week to the topic that we have planned for you. And be sure to catch my podcast if you want to listen to shows as you're driving to work or working out at the gym. And I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Have a great night.
Thank you so much for listening and making the Egg Whisperer Show a part of your weekly routine. To find show notes and a full transcript for this episode, visit dramy.org and look under the blog tab. While you're there, you can find a link for the Egg Whisperer newsletter, which keeps you in the know about fertility news. You can also find Dr. Amy and the Egg Whisperer Show on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. If you'd like to learn even more, Dr. Amy offers classes at the Egg Whisperer School, eggwhispererschool.com, or you can request a consultation on dramy.org. Thank you so much for tuning in and for sharing the Egg Whisperer Show with others. Keep sparkling and have a great day.